Start recording now. Scene. Minimize. Reload. Lower the volume in my headphones. Alright. Everything should be going swimmingly now. Maybe I'll get lucky and my internet will, like, not dip. Hold on, too. Apparently the dog just sniped my little brother's lunch when he wasn't paying attention, so joy of joys. Alright. Talk to Swansea again. I'm not doing that. We need to talk to the locals about the infection. Do you know anything?
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaney's. A nice family who live in a big house
Wait,
near the park.
like John Mulaney?
Part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother.
She's...
Good evening, Miss Teasdale. How have you been since you returned home?
Dr. Reed. Oh, thank God you returned safely from these awful streets. I was so worried about my father that I left without thanking you properly.
Please don't mention it, miss.
Good. I found him, you know. My dad. Or what was left of him. I think my abductor intended to do the same thing to me.
What do you do for a living, Miss Teasdale?
Before my kidnapping, I was a waitress in a pub. Now I'm unemployed.
Were you fired?
No. It's just that after my recent experience, I don't feel like I can go back to my normal life. I need to do something useful.
Be very careful, Miss Teasdale. You were lucky to escape death once, but vampires lurk everywhere.
Even in
You
front of
kidnapped
you.
me by yourself, didn't you? No offense, Doctor, but you're just a doctor. I don't see why I couldn't do the same.
What do you intend to do?
Dad always told me, Louise, if you want something, don't stop until you have it. I did my research and I found it. Ichabod Throgmorton, professional vampire hunter. I'll be his apprentice.
Okay.
What can you tell me about this area?
I've never really liked this part of town. It was where my father wanted to live. I won't remain here much longer.
What exactly don't you like about it?
People here are contemptuous and elitist. My dad always said, Louise, always treat people like you want them to treat you.
Louise, what can you tell me about the vampire who captured you?
The little fucker claimed he'd fallen in love with me. That he wanted to spend eternity with me. Not a bad idea. At least that's the way it seemed at first.
Really? Did you consider accepting his proposal?
Well, immortality. Not a common wedding gift, is it? I think he just wanted to have his way with me. Can vampires even fuck, Doctor?
What? I really can't.
Jonathan doesn't know.
Since they are creatures of blood, physically speaking, I suppose an erection is possible, but
Don't be embarrassed, Dr. Reed. I was just asking.
You seem to cherish your father a great deal.
Dad was the best. He kept an eye on me, but let me make my own mistakes. Louise used to say, mistakes are the best teacher. You would have liked him.
I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye.
That's all right. He's buried in consecrated ground now. Nothing bad can happen to him.
You have a headache.
I have no doubt about it, but I'm offering you my help anyway.
All right then. But please leave me alone for now.
Goodbye.
Can't I forgive you, Father?
Clarence. Base is still in the shop.
Goody.
I may.
Oh, I should ask him about the infection, huh?
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Cool.
Goodbye, Mr.
Remember, don't let any stranger...
Clarence, what are you doing?
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
You need some rest, Clarence.
We got 2 leads. Pre-win is out in force. Everybody here healthy. Try to find Kimura. Charlotte. And there was that one lady that was like hypnotized and being forced to eat rats. I should track her down.
We meet again, Mr. Kimura, in a more peaceful situation.
Dr. Reed, still visiting London by night?
We must both be nocturnal animals, you and I. After your captivity, I thought you'd be more cautious.
Breathing the cold night air helps calm my mind, sir. I've had the most frightening nightmare since I escaped that filthy jail.
May I ask you what you do for a living, Mr. Kimura?
I was a landlord. A wealthy one. And not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
How is the situation in the West End?
I've heard rumors about armed men patrolling and fighting infected citizens in these very streets. I was lucky they didn't shoot me when I was abducted.
Why are you so nostalgic for your hometown, Tadao?
I was focused so much on making money, I almost forgot that my relatives and friends are threatened by this epidemic.
Have you heard anything from your family?
I was not only a bad landlord, I was also a bad husband. I've not seen my wife and son for years. Busy, busy, busy.
At least now you're ready to go back and see them. But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reed. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then, that I stopped laughing long ago.
Can you change? And is it what you really want? If so, it must come from within, not without.
I've seen what an altruistic gesture can do. Nothing forced you to save me, Dr. Reed, but you did. I will follow your example in these matters from now on.
There is no need to thank me. Rescuing a London citizen should not be out of the ordinary, though I'm afraid it may appear so in these difficult times.
You did not only rescue me, you fought for me. You put your life in danger to save me. That's quite extraordinary.
How will you cope if you're attacked again?
I don't know. I've heard about these men and women who patrol the West End every night, chasing criminals like my abductor. Maybe I should join them.
No, that's not a good idea.
What can you tell me about your abduction?
If you really want to know, I was locked in that building for 3 or 4 days. My jailer was insane, mumbling about sacrifice and voices.
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
That's the whole point. He wanted me to talk to him about some Red Queen configuration or constellation. I've never heard of such an astronomical term.
What did he say about voices?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master, ordering him to do terrible things. He wanted to silence the voice by offering blood. My blood.
Tell me, Tadao, why was your abductor so interested in your passion for astronomy?
I don't know. We met a few times at the Royal Greenwich Observatory. He seemed to share my hobby. Then he invited me to his house and locked me in.
Yes, astronomy is a fascinating subject. When I was a child, my mother bought a small telescope for my sister and I. We spent many a pleasant evening stargazing.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doctor. They are the key to our understanding of the cosmos. They remind us how insignificant we are.
You're right. But children love magic and stories. I remember our mother told us constellations have the power to protect us.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
Pegasus. It was the constellation my mother liked the most?
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations, yet I barely remember my own childhood.
Did he fake his interest in astronomy to get close to you?
No. In his madness, he spoke about a blood sacrifice to be made to his master when the stars aligned to a specific configuration.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take...
Alright, well that was interesting. Where was that lady?
It could be someone you know, even someone you're close to.
Oh! It was you. Find any delicious rats?
Tasty.
Oh, did I not unlock any hints?
Infection.
And where is...
West of the.
Alright.
I'm...
I'm fairly certain one of the people in the Ascalon Club is fucking with her. Like, as in, they brainwashed her into eating nothing but rats.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
All right, big boy, let's go. Oh, I am so strong.
It's locked.
There's an open from inside. Rats!
I have this thirst for blood.
I want to do that. Oh.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Something's down there.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You are very much alive.
You thought I was dead too,
No.
No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
Eat that.
I've never seen such a
Okay.
mutation.
Pop.
Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution?
Acting school. Doris Fletcher. Ah!
This girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
I should go talk to that guy's wife. Because I can mesmerize my way into the house now.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
No.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. Know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
I'm stealing all of your crap. Thank God they don't give a shit. That is probably locked.
It's locked, all right.
Hmm. Library, whatever. I can get up here now. Oh, is this how I can get over to check on that one
No
lady?
invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
How do you know she's already dead? Oh, there's blood.
I should follow the trail.
I should probably make this the primary investigation real quick. Hello?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I intend to do so very soon, thank you. But for the moment, I'd like to shed light on the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes. My dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
dear cousin. Are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
No.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
Huh.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
Your cruelty deserves punishment, sir.
And what else is new?
Whoa! Take that. Attack! And you're dead. Forever now. Well, sorry about your friend, Charlotte. Can I get back up to the roof? No. Wait. Yes. Let me. Let me. Let me in. Let's just go tell her friend is dead real quick.
Support!
Good evening, Miss Ashby.
And good...
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure to become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Oh, hello.
She's been...
A better offhand weapon? That's already upgraded, maxed out? That, yes. I mean, it's got slightly less stun power. That's actually probably because it doesn't have any of the mods in it. All right. New stake. I consider that a absolute win. Upgrade it real quick. Avery, I'll be back to put you out of your misery soon. Don't you worry. that. Some points. Only makes no sense not to go for the stun points then. Better stun, even less stamina to use. Love it. Love it when quests actually give me good items for doing them.
Women's right to vote is only the
That. It's just vampire shit. Alright. Me plant myself in front of the door here. Give me like 5, however many minutes. I gotta go do a little bit of laundry real quick. Right back. return. Let's actually talk to Venus this time.
Hello, Venus.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
I'm
The McPherson.
They could just...
Perhaps you're...
I already knew all that, but...
Did Clarence recently show you documents that prove the existence of vampires?
Yes, he did. And he also told me you spent a few nights gathering research for him. Seriously, Jonathan. Why feed his obsession like that?
He's my friend. I thought it might help him rest, instead of going outside at night. Tell me, what are your thoughts about vampires?
Gibberish and poppycock. Dracula was a good book, but these documents were just mumbo-jumbo. I burnt them all as soon as Clarence went outside again.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your mother and your sister. Such a tragedy.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden, and I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
Yes to both.
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires...
Oh, whoa!
The important question...
You have no idea, Venus.
What do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
See if I can find any notes or what have you. Okay.
You're always welcome.
Venus' journal. Something, something, something. Go try talking to Venus again.
What do you think about Clarence squandering his fortune on his obsession?
Soon we'll be poor and forced to sell the house. Where will we go? In which filthy, infected part of town will we end up? I'm so afraid. I remember when Mary came here with her husband.
They're all around you.
Clarence!
Good evening.
I won't.
Do you realize you are ruining your family, Clarence? Don't you see the risk here?
Money isn't important. Not important when it is a matter of life and death. That is what my dear Venus cannot understand.
People will laugh at you, if they don't already. Think about your wife and your position. Think about your future.
I understand my wife's embarrassment, but gossips don't kill, vampires do. There'll be no future if people don't open their eyes.
I can't believe I'm telling you this, but if warning people is that important to you, why not choose a more efficient way to spend your money?
Don't you think I tried? I knocked at every door, went to every bank, I even tried to be published. No, Jonathan. This is a one-man war.
You need...
Alright, we'll put him out of his misery later. Have fun! Ah, god damn it. Bleh! Bleh!
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
Huh. Okay. What?
Women of all countries unite!
How do you get over there? Oh, it's the... It's where what's his name was. All right. Gentlemen.
Watch it! It's a killer! He's done for!
Oh, hello. Let me circle around to you here. Ah!
Fresh water. As long as it's not holy water, I may find some use for it.
Huh. What for? Oh, is it for watering the plant? Like at Pembroke? I've been finding water all this time? Wait, this is where... Hold on. Wait, no, I still can't get over there, though.
It's locked, all right.
How do I get over there? Ah! Do I have to, like, do... Oh, could I go around this way? I think.
Over there!
Right? No, this is just, again... Get... Oh, is there a little There we go. Eh. Go to unlock this. Go. Also, feast on some delicious, delicious rats.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
More.
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Remarkable pump action shotgun. All right. I really should see if I can make guns useful. Hello. Well, that was easy. Precious perfume and fur. Doris Fletcher appears to be a commonality.
Had an affair with Doris Fletcher. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Ah! Where the hell did he come from? we can finally go into this big place.
It's locked.
Not a safe place right now, sir.
I agree. That's why I'm going this way. he was so confident too.
Best be moving on.
Now.
We have to stop it.
This is now my domain. Rah! Oh, I want to zoom in.
There's
Hey!
an window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Suicide note. It's in the pain anymore. It's on my person's that bitch infected me. Wrong. Notes. Hateful, spitting beauty. Bitch is infected, rotten to the core. She plans to infect everyone in this place and everyone in London. For December, not this time. But alright.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Ah!
hate. I offer only love.
Rats!
This is despicable. It's locked, all right.
Who are you?
Hello.
You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock?
No, I'm here to have a boss battle with you.
Put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more.
Oh.
She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor.
I'm Dr. Acula.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die for that.
She has a scimitar.
Wish. You killed, come to me, my servants. Avenge me. I smell your fear. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she.
Ah!
Will she be the queen again once they share her fate? I summon thee.
Whoa!
Your hand is shaking. Hear and obey, for your queen commands you. Attack!
And goodbye. Oh,
Wait,
Jesus.
wait.
Ugh.
I don't want to die.
I did not come to kill you.
I think death might be a release for you, lady.
Spare me then. Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said.
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher. The greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell.
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
Why didn't you come down here and do this?
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that skull infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt. These people want me dead. I need to leave now. So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Back up to the house here. Might as well. Oh, I mean, I don't have any Willie Pete. Let me take a look at the other guns. Maybe having a pistol would be... Like, if I get a pistol, and that'll be good for dealing with, like, ranged guys, so I'd have to constantly run up to them to... The marker. Damn, I... Either way, I'm gonna have to upgrade, like, my bullet capacity, otherwise these things are useless anyways. Go report our findings to the Ascalon Club, shall we?
I understand exactly what happened.
These leaflets were telling the truth all along.
Hello, Lady Ashbury.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
And it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
You've known
And
each
the
other
same
like
to
a
you,
week.
Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Who are
I have
you?
a boat ready to go whenever I want. These hunters won't catch me.
Nothing over there. Lord Redgrave.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lancebearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Ooh.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. Now go.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die, and he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us.
Yeah, but what if it fails?
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Alright. Temple church entrance.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is a lesser witch and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me.
Nah.
Lead him down the right path.
No.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny.
Ooh.
His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Some juicy, juicy gossip.
looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Ignore me!
Turn around, sir.
Now. Oh, hi, Carol.
Hello again, Carol. How are you?
My mother always told me that she had to protect me from the cruel world. Now I see what she meant. This is a harsh and violent world, Dr. Reed.
Yes, Carol. As you know all too well, it can be a violent world.
I don't know what you mean. And I prefer you call me Miss Price. I'm not a child anymore.
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books. And then laughed at what we showed him.
Are you going to work in your mother's shop?
No. This place is filled with too many bad memories. Entering it or staying inside is an effort now.
What will you do then?
I don't know yet. I think I'll leave London. But since I inherited some money, maybe it's time for me to grow up and go.
How have your neighbors reacted to this tragedy?
Nobody came to the funeral.
Oh.
Everyone's afraid of death and contagion.
You were alone at your mother's funeral.
It wasn't really a funeral. Her body was thrown with other corpses in a freshly dug hole. And I dropped a rose onto her.
Do you remember now what your mother did to you, Carol? Do you realize how badly she treated you?
My mother was a sick person who was afraid to be alone. Her whole life, she looked at me like the embodiment of all her fears and failures.
Your mother was very sick, Miss Price. Her sadism towards you was only an expression of her mental disorder. She was a victim.
That's not
right.
where I wanted to go with that one.
My mother was a monster. Or a victim of some mental illness. All I know is I can't imagine my life without her.
How do you really feel, Miss Price?
I feel like I'm on the edge of a cliff. Fear of being alone is pushing me toward the void. The weight of unanswered questions incites me to jump. I feel lucid.
Are you going to be all right without your mother here? Financially, I mean.
I have inherited all of my mother's money. She always told me how poor we would be if we stopped working. But as always, she took care of everything.
She lied to you then?
Maybe she did. But that was for my own good. My mother loved me, Doctor. Her will testifies to that.
Well,
goodbye, Miss Price.
I hope you turn out okay, Carol. Glad I could help. Can't get into the store anymore, though.
Too many murders to investigate them all. Dr. Reed.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's still that guy.
It's locked, all right.
Hello. Who are you?
Again, what are the cards trying to tell us?
Who are you?
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They've told me of your unquenchable thirst for blood. Be wary, Ekon. I've heard such a rich diet can be bad for the heart.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire.
Oh.
And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
Blood. Pure and unseen, untold. The two hearts love each other without knowing it, without daring to admit it.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
You'll cast your heart into the fire without hesitation, Jonathan. For pain is only for the mortals.
I would rather not know. How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
How do you...
I told you.
Is it...
Vampire...
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Cool.
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic, but I see terrible trials awaiting in the future.
Why are you living in a mausoleum?
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye. What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye.
hideout. Where the fuck is this guy? Where's his mansion? Fuck off. Oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck you. This looks like a mansion. Do the community head? Yeah. Not a lot of good blood on him, huh? Oh, there's a train. Let's try to find some more info. Let's make sure we talk to everybody. Of course these guys are back. Have fun. Ah, what the hell?
He's dead!
I meant to do the steak. Make sure we talk to everyone we possibly can, shall we? Because I don't want to accidentally not be able to do a dialogue.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Not much, sir. Mr. Dawson's house used to be a good house, with many servants. I heard he fired them all recently.
Oh, we can give him the watch!
Avery, I finally deciphered my father's puzzle. Among other things, I found his watch. I'd really like you to have it.
I can't accept this gift, sir.
Yes, you can, Avery. You deserve it.
I thank you, sir. I'll keep it until the day I die.
That may be
Thank you, Avery.
much sooner than later. Stop, dude.
Good.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a big spender. One day, he sent 3 houseboys to buy all the beluga in my shop. For his brother's birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
I may have a look.
Put some phosphorus here. And some hydroxide. Do you know anything?
And
what do you know about...
That man is a tyrant. The embodiment of greed and selfishness. All I despise about this country.
Goodbye.
She's been...
Watch the last hint be the fucking mother bitch.
Good evening.
I won't.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Well, I've discovered he's quite versed in occult knowledge. So I wrote him a letter asking him to finance my research about vampires. He never responded.
You...
Nobody takes him seriously.
Women of all countries unite!
Good evening.
Can I help?
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Never heard of him.
Really? He's very well known in London, throughout the country even.
But he a big shot or something? Never interested in politics myself. Words and no action.
Good.
Women die too in this war!
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson, by any chance?
Well, I've never met the man personally, but I invested money in some of his companies when I came to London. A brilliant businessman.
Goodbye.
London's brought so much pain to me.
I remember when Mary came here with her. What?
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I never met the man. I know Clarence tried to contact him recently. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son. They were such a beautiful family.
Interesting. Rat lady, do you know anything?
I need to find information about Aloysius Dawson. What can you tell me about him?
Don't trust him. He's looking for the same thing I was.
Rats! That's everybody that's still alive in the West End. Damn it. Right? I'm not missing anybody. No, that was everybody. Except for her. God knows it was probably the mom. Oh. Well, let's go have a chat with him. I assume this is his house.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains, am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Aloysius.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight, I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
I'm the only vampire in the room for now, so please indulge me.
All right. What is it you wish to ask?
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
Alright, well, you just blew your chances. Now I'm definitely not.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I already do that.
And powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. But I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London, I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
I will make sure the skulls pay for it.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and immortality gives me the needed authority. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Fuck this guy.
By doing so, you will also create 2 separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
I've heard enough.
You, sir, are a moron.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Damn! I bet I could have just convinced him he didn't want to become a vampire. Fuck! Well, I'm not turning him. Fuck him.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now.
I don't
Rest
care.
Now. Forever.
I would have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Ooh! Bunch of keys. Gives me shillings. Bunch of blood. And And I tell you, that's probably a bunch of medicine. Yep, kind of looks like it. Oh, hi, Lord Redgrave! Fancy meeting you here. You're not gonna be happy with me.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
Nothing. Do I lie to his face? He'll know. I'm gonna lie to his face.
He didn't survive the procedure. He was too weak.
This is unacceptable, nevertheless. You were given the simplest task.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone.
Cool. Protect the Pembroke Hospital. Wait. It's under attack? Talk with old Bridget. Oh, hi, old Bridget. What are you doing here?
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget, what are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well. And he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must
Except
go
for all the time we have to lose.
My den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Tell her I love her!
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Are we, like, in the end game? But I still have so many people to eat. Oh! Hey! Hi, Lord Feeney! Oh! Chunky! This is Whitechapel. Well, seeing as we're here, oh, 'cause I'm in a city.
Good evening.
I've nothing to say to...
Where is this anger coming from?
Everybody thinks I'm responsible for Barrett's death. I never really punched him. He was my friend. Fuck 'em all!
How is this?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killers and I'm...
How can you claim Barrett was your friend when you were always bullying him?
But he was. I knew him before I was married. He even knew my dear departed wife.
But you robbed him anyway.
Hey, I may have taken a few, Bob, but I never hurt him, you know.
Does anyone suspect you of Mr. Lewis's death?
Almost everyone, according to the looks I get. Jeez, even my own son thinks I done it. And that hurts. A lot.
I'm convinced you didn't kill Barrett Lewis.
Great. I feel better already.
Have you any idea who killed Mr. Lewis? Another gang member, perhaps?
No. Look, I used to be a boxer. I know what kind of injuries you get from a beating. And that's not what Barrett had.
What would you do if you ever found out who did do it?
Ah, you want me to tell you I could kill a man? That's not going to happen, Dr. Reed.
Has Barrett's murder changed anything in your line of work?
Actually, yeah. People may speak ill of me behind my back, but everybody smiles sweetly when I pay them a visit.
What is it you do exactly?
I don't want to talk about it.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Good evening. Tell me the reason why you despise Joseph Larrabee so much, Tobias.
A faithless shepherd is the worst criminal, for he leads his flock to the abyss by disregarding the right path. God smote this man, for he doubted.
I only met him briefly, but he seemed a dedicated man who tried to provide guidance.
Do you not believe in punishment,
Hello, Brian.
son? I am not talking about the law of men. I am talking about judgment from heaven.
I believe in the logical and factual organization of everything in the universe. God, if he exists.
Well, thank you for hosting me.
Principle waiting to be discovered.
Armageddon is
I
upon
hope
us,
more
Doctor.
people join too.
The final battle where every soul will be weighed. I'm afraid yours will burn for a long time.
Alright, well, I'm eating this guy now. Let's go. Himbo! Himbo! Rambong! Compound! Right, this way. Good night.
Please forgive me, my lord, for my eyes were blind to the devil in front of me.
You burned people alive in their beds, you jackass! Shut up! Jesus! This is Vampyr. Spelt with a Y.
Most of them don't speak English. How am I supposed to interview them?
Game where you play as a doctor who has recently been turned into a vampire, and you have to figure out what the source of the Spanish flu is, and you find out that it has more supernatural origins than people think it does.
Morbidity can... Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Missing any, like, things, like in his little hovel here? Oh, I was. Refusal letter. Let's talk to him about that.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
So you're a fail son. A fail son worth the maximum amount of blood points. Hmm. Honestly, if I go after him, if I take care of this guy, that might as well be it. I might as well just purge the entire district.
I'll leave you.
It is already, like, beyond salvaging.
Hello again, miss. Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed?
I don't know what I was expecting.
Very well.
Let's find the one blood dude. Or, I'm sorry, the one blind dude. Ah!
Good evening, Mr. Swan.
Is it you? What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
I thought you cured your blindness.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
So did you decide not to take the experimental cure for blindness?
Oh no, I have. For a few hours.
But you are still... What do you mean? I don't understand.
I saw the world again, Dr. Reed. For a few hours I witnessed how ugly and sad and tragic this city is.
I'm sorry the effect didn't last.
You don't get it, do you? I crafted a new formula that made me blind again. The world is a cesspool, Dr. Reed, and I don't want to look at it.
Goodbye.
Tell me, how do you see the world these days?
Oh! I didn't realize there was a letter on the counter.
What can I...
Why does your sister feel so guilty about what happened to you?
Because she knows I'll never forgive what she did to me.
You run an illegal business with someone you hate?
I don't hate my sister. She looks after me, we have a good time. But I'm just not ready to forgive her.
Alright.
Goodbye.
Now I can actually
What kind of gentleman pays...
get some information out of that woman.
It's locked.
Oh, you people are here. It.
Change.
How are the...
When I think about...
Good.
Some people believe I'm responsible. I'm sure you...
Where is Loretta?
Goody.
Loretta, why do you feel so guilty about your brother?
I don't expect him to forgive me. All I can do is make amends for what I did.
By making him a crook and a criminal. What if somebody decides to make him pay for your scam?
Mason is totally capable of defending himself. Just leave us be. We're perfectly fine.
I know how guilt feels between a brother and sister. Are you sure you're not trying to ease your own remorse?
Mason wants to be useful, can you understand that? And chemistry is his passion, and the Swanborough cordial gives him a purpose in life.
Goodbye.
Back to him!
Good evening, Doc.
Nothing from you. Those two must have some sort of eavesdrop thing that I just haven't been able to trigger. Ah!
Tell me, how did... What can I...
Your sister seems to believe this miracle elixir business is somehow doing you good.
Loretta believes that keeping busy is what I need to be happy.
And is she wrong?
My sister is wrong about almost everything. But as long as she thinks she's in charge, she can be nice.
Goodbye.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
Alright. Where did she go? Oh, those two are sick.
It ain't human! Murdering bot over there!
I've gone in a huge circle. I go over there from here. By cutting through the graveyard, which I don't want to do.
This is now mine!
Let's go save the hospital!
See them fancy clothes? Right, Vermin!
Hello, big boy. Who are you? Oh!
Are you from us?
Ah, screw you.
We can deal with this, Vermin.
Oh, it's you! Oh, come on. To the Pembroke!
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
As for me...
Apparently not. Everybody seems to be fine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need...
I'm afraid.
No.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Milton, come get your medicine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
For months I said this day would come.
Do you need it?
I'm afraid.
Oh.
Bessie.
Goodbye.
You okay, Swansea?
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? Looks like he's wounded. I better follow the blood.
I'm coming. Oh, do I finally get to go to the 3rd floor of the hospital now? Hello, Boss Arena. Oh no!
Ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for what.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic.
The fuck are you talking about?
Another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it, just like you are.
You're its progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak!
Uh-oh.
So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood.
What?
The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. Show some style. Or look a man. The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. We'll take you down. True light will cleanse you.
And got him.
We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
Oh? Oh? I like that. Oh, but that sacrifices experience points. Oh, damn, what do I do? I like the dramatic irony of turning him into a vampire. But I also don't want to waste 1,000 experience points doing it. I'll spare him.
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
Doris Fletcher's Theater. Alright. First, let's take a trip to the docks. Don't. Oh, you bitch! That's the way to West End. Oh. What? Oh, shit. Literally like 60 feet away from you. You people are terrible at your jobs. What? What am I fighting? Oh! Dude? Hello?
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Look who's back after Booth's butchery. Still visiting the docks at night.
Where are those sound effects coming from?
To Mr. Digby. He seemed a decent man, despite his.
Where are those sound effects coming from?
Too soft, maybe. They are all gonna pay for this.
Tell me, Edwina, have you reconsidered Booth's fear of monsters, considering his mysterious death?
You should have learnt to shoot first, rather than chasing ghosts around. What a clumsy leader he was. But I'll miss him, nevertheless.
Can I offer... Are you really going to seek revenge for Mr. Digby's death?
I've never been so sure of anything. Since the real murderer will never be found, I'm gonna punish everyone.
Blindly punishing everyone in the area is wrong. People around here are struggling enough.
I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it will make me feel better.
Well, let's go ahead and prevent you from doing that, shall we? Follow me. Where are these sounds coming from? And the Wet Boot Boys are done.
Bloody bastard. First Booth, then me. You tricked us.
Ooh.
Good.
A bunch of shotgun shells and a new shotgun. Cool. I believe you guys were sick.
Welcome back, Doctor.
Do you need... Are you concerned about the sanitary situation?
It may surprise you, but I'm not. I've heard about the men-at-arms and the fights between gangs at night.
I wish I shared your optimism.
It's not optimism.
Sabrina, you are also sick.
You still...
Do you require...
I'm fine.
Really? I thought you were sick. Oh no, that was Edwina, who I just... alive. Everybody else is fine and healthy. District's probably gonna dip into the serious, but... well, that's the consequences of needing experience points. I am going to go to the Pembroke and evolve. And then I'm going to look for Swansea. All right. Get that. Health. Of course. Let's max this out because it's been very useful investment for me. Endurance. Of course. Better capacity. Better bite. Better healing. Does I can upgrade coagulation. So I genuinely never use it. Actually, let's bump up bullets here. Make it actually somewhat useful. Let's max out our health. And that'll do. Anarchy in the UK? Oh, did a district finally fall? Death of Aloysius Dawson, head of the Dawson Empire, around 4 a.m. Cool. Oh! Damn it! It fell! I should have ate everybody! sick in the Pembroke. Everybody's sick in the docks. Oh god, that really brought him down to critical, near to critical? Shit. Damn it. I should have ate everybody. All those experience points I missed out on. Damn it. If only I had known. Everybody here is ill. I knew I should have just cleaned out the entire district then and there. Fuck! Imagine how much more powerful I would be right now if I had. You sick?
Good.
Do you need...
I'm fine.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Which one of you were sick? You were sick.
Good evening. Do you need... Would have... There is no shame in helping each other.
Many doctors I have known are too cynical to think that way.
Goodbye.
Other doctor dude.
Do you need...
Don't be...
Then...
I wish...
Thank you.
Damn it! This is gonna... Oh! Oh, this is just gonna upset me forever. All that delicious, delicious blood.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
Do you need...
I'm afraid I...
You are...
And you have...
Good evening.
Doctor.
Do you need it?
Yes.
I have no... Goodbye.
Good.
Do you require...
I will be... out.
Goodbye.
Let me take a quick break. 2 seconds. Right back up and we'll rescue Swansea. Hey, I'm back. I said I would be. Go save Swansea. We'll have saving Swansea be the last thing we do today. Right, the Weston probably isn't in very good shape either, huh? Hello. I don't know why these guys keep trying to attack me. They know how powerful I am. Rats!
I can't believe I'm doing this.
What? Actually, I'm beginning to notice there's not a lot of sound effects in some situations.
So Priwen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Where is he? Someone knows where he is. Oh, he's down there. And I've gone into a gigantic circle.
I cannot enter.
Does I have to go up to go down? Oh. Sappho? That's... Missing something? You know, they're like, no? He's perk. In what capacity? Around in a circle.
It's locked.
I know he's down here.
It's locked, all right.
Am I just blind?
It's locked.
Fletcher's diary. I guess I'll go out this way. There's nothing else for me to do in that theater.
Return later.
Should I go back to the hospital? I'm just gonna look this up, like, real quick, because I don't understand what it is I am meant to be doing. Fuck, where's the... Oh! I went the wrong way! Where's this desk with the key? Hmm. Bullets. I'm just gonna, just inspect the, the people of West End. See how everybody's doing. Ah!
This is despicable.
That's as a consequence of reading ahead a bit. I'm gonna go talk to the people of West End a little bit. Cure their illnesses. The works. All right, who's sick? It's most of you, I know.
I won't. Have you any news about Aloysius Dawson?
He was aware of many things, many secrets. It's obvious a vampire assassin must have got to him. He knew too much.
Do you need...
It's a little...
What? I hope... You need... Good evening,
Oh, God damn it.
You need...
Also sick. Venus.
Hello.
What do you...
Do you need...
It would have...
And I...
Thank you.
Have you any recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
It's not such a bad thing for rich people to remember that money can't protect them from disease and death.
Good evening. Good evening. Do you need... Yes.
Good evening.
I don't have any fatigue. Avery's sick.
Good evening.
Do you need...
You
would say... Have you any news on Aloysius Dawson?
I will never see him again in my shop, it seems. I did not realize how much his health had deteriorated.
So, did you try the restaurant I recommended?
Oh, yes. I can't thank you enough, my dear doctor. Exquisite, but expensive. But what is money made for, if not for little pleasures?
Don't you think your money could be better spent in these difficult times?
Your words hurt,
Perhaps my words were too harsh.
Oh, no harm done. Ah.
Goodbye.
Any letters or anything like behind the counter here that I can read? That gives me a hint as to what the hell your whole deal is. I could eat the twins. Could eat the investigator. Get to the north then.
Do you need...
I'm afraid...
You'll...
Thank you.
Have you recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
I just heard he finally died. We all have to go one day, do we not, Doctor? Goodbye.
Alright, you two, I don't know what the hell your deals were, so I'm just gonna get rid of ya.
Good.
I've decided you annoy me.
Says...
Oh wait, there's Rat Lady. Isn't there? She would not give me enough, so she gets to live.
So in the end, was it you we were waiting for? Death was our destination.
Yes. All right, let's go 2 for 2, folks.
Hello again.
Do you need...
Indeed.
Sorry about your brother.
That sounds...
But you won't be separated for too long. Right this way, sir. Hey, here's your brother.
This makes no sense. No sense at all. I should have told my brother to go sooner.
They both had broken watches. Don't go looking in that alley over there, Mr. Investigator, sir. There's nothing of interest for you. The health of the district is gonna fucking tank. Oh no. Have I doomed West End too? With my insatiable thirst for blood? Hello? Oh, I'm not going the right way. Where do you keep coming from? There it is! I didn't even see that.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Evidence.
I should find the key to that box.
William Marshall's memoirs. One of the St. Paul's Stoll family agreed to London. They oh. Dus Astro. Pair of stars.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
Swansea, no!
Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession. Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
Oh!
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar.
There are vampires about, dude.
The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's.
Oh.
Transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
How dare you judge me? Must I name the alarming list of your victims?
We are both deceivers. But at least I know I'm a monster.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Let die, embrace, turn!
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
Of course!
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
So it was Swansea the entire time. Hint failed. All right. Prepare to fight the disaster. Well, we'll prepare to fight that disaster next time I play Vampyr, which will probably end up being the finale. More than likely. I like where this is going. I really enjoy this game. Like, there's some janky bits to it, for sure. But, like, as a whole, I'm greatly enjoying my time with it. I'm glad I decided to play it. Until probably tomorrow, almost assuredly, so, goodbye.